and gentlemen, welcome to ATCHAT. Your hosts for today are Pastor Andy and Kanesh.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes. Welcome back to X-Teens Chat.
Haha.
Yes. That's
Hey,
right.
feels like so long we haven't seen each other, man.
Yeah. Like
What
we had a
happened? What
skip week,
happened?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think last week was supposed to be exchange chat, but then we didn't We didn't have it.
But it's okay. That also means
It's okay.
next week we also have X-Teens Chat.
Now we go
That's right.
we have back to back.
Back to back only for this month because
Yes.
there was some technical error last week. But yes, we want to talk about vaccination this week. But just an
Yes.
introduction for next week first. Do join us because in X-Teens, right, we are actually in the series of X-Teens Got Talent. That's right.
Wow. That's
Wow.
right.
So we have seen a bunch of talented people performing, on Saturdays during X-Teens Live.
Yes.
And next week we want to have them on board with us in X-Teens Chat just to
Wow.
share with us their journey, right? How they become so talented. Yes. What kind of
Wow.
food they eat.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Oh, you know. Okay.
Okay.
Something like that.
But yeah, it'll be cool. Yes. And then after the chat, which is Thursday, Saturday is the final, right?
Yes.
Good lah. Our organizers very good, the way they think,
Yes.
so good, Yeah, okay.
Something like that lah. So yeah, okay. So that's for next week.
All right.
If it happens, it happens. Okay. So this week, right, we'll talk about vaccination. Apparently, it's a hot topic for teenagers these days.
Yeah.
It used to be hot topic for us. Yes.
The 18 and above.
Yes.
Now 18 and below, or rather below 18.
Yes.
Yeah. I think maybe it's because not too long ago, I think it's only quite recent that the government have confirmed that the vaccine is now safe for the 18 and below or below 18, and then they roll out some programs for the teenagers to be able to get the vaccine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and until of course under 18 means until 12 years old I think below 12
Still not yet lah.
they're not. Yeah, it's not available for them yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's why there has been some buzz among the teenagers, 12
Yes.
to 17 years old. They're
Yes.
talking about it. School have reopened again for a number of them, especially those taking exams one. By now, there are already people in that age group that have already gotten their second dose and already passed the 14 days. So it's been that amount of time since it started.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we have one person with us on board, right? Who is
Yes.
Maybe we can invite him first, lah. It's
Yes.
okay.
I just want to say that this guy has a very, very cool name. Very cool
name.
English name. Because
I just found out earlier as well.
yes, his name is very super amazing, incredible, sexy, so amazing. Okay, so I'm so privileged to introduce to all of you, our 9 million viewers out there. Please put your hands together, however you do it, and welcome Andy Sham Karlek.
Yes. That's right.
Yay, hello.
Yes.
Happy Andy. Yes. So and Andy Sham. How would you like us to to call you out, lah? Do you prefer?
I mean, the name on the slide is Karlek. We call you Karlek. How about that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If I call you Andy, I also don't know who I'm calling.
But how did Andy came about, Karlek? Yes.
Toy Story.
He is the name my godmother gave me. Because when I was very young, I was very sick. So I was kept by my godmother. So she gave me this name.
Okay, she must have been watching Toy Story, I think.
Actually, I was about to hear you say I'm inspired by Pastor Andy, so I named myself after him.
No lah, the godmother gave him the name.
Okay.
I think godmother maybe follow my Facebook. Okay, so yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Don't worry,
Yes.
don't worry, Ganesh. One day, someone will name after you.
A bit hard lah, a bit hard.
Why
The
not?
name Kanish and the name Varma both not common lah, not common.
Hey, it's okay. Maybe we are all satu Malaysia, what? Maybe it'll be
That
like
means if anyone actually named themselves Varma, then I
Ah.
really know he named it after me.
yes,
And not some Godma somewhere.
So uncommon. Yeah, Godma, Vama, okay, what?
Okay,
we're talking nonsense already. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So Khaled,
Ah,
yes. Hey, so Khaled, you mentioned earlier that you're
Yeah.
currently vaccinated twice, right? You have both your double dose,
Yep.
right? And maybe share with us some of your experience getting vaccinated and yeah.
All right. So I got to Selayang because I got the form for Selayang, got a special appointment there. Got there. We were lost because there was like 3 places and we don't know which one to go. It was me and my mother only. We got there very early, around like 7-ish. Got there, got the form, signed, then wait for them to call us into the room lah. They have to ask us for our info and stuff. So yeah, so we wait. Then they ask us for our info. Then check my Sejatera, like ask me my email. Like, okay, I remember this person. He asked me my email. Are you sure this is your email? Because I use hotmail.my and it wasn't very common. The person told me. So it was like, are you really sure? And then he asked me like 3 times. And I was like, oh my god, okay. I show you my email to make sure it is my email, okay? Because if you enter wrong email, they cannot really change your message, right? So open it up, I show him, they're like, okay. Alright. Fill in the info. Cool. And then now need to get the injection on. But I have to go in myself because my mother had to go to the auditorium and like wait for me lah. And so I was in there myself, waiting for my number. And then it was at the moment I thought, oh god, I scared, I don't know what the doctor talking about. They all speak Bahasa Malay, Melayu. I was like so nervous. What if I got the misinterpret what they say and stuff? I was like so nervous. Then until I got called to get my injection, the nurses were like preparing the injection and stuff, and then she showed me the dosage, and then I was so nervous. I went and take the syringe, and then she was like, "Hey, no, I'm just showing you." They're like, "Oh, sorry."
Wow.
Yeah.
Things Andy do.
right.
Yeah, and then I got jabbed. Wait for like 30 minutes, nothing happened, went home. Yeah, that was basically it lah. The second dose, well, it went very normally. This time I did take the syringe, of course. I know my ways now. And yeah, like it went very normal. There was no side effect, nothing, not much lah. The first dose was very painful. The side effects, yeah. I was like swollen arm. I could not sleep. I had to take Panadol. My head hurts, body weak and stuff. But second dose, it was pretty chill. There was no side effect, nothing. Yeah, that was my experience.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Great.
Yes. Awesome. So Carla, I also want to ask, right? Like at any point of this experience, were you afraid, or like afraid of taking vaccine, or afraid that about the side effect, right? Afraid if anything will happen to you, afraid if this is fake. Any of these things happen in your mind, or you're one of those like, I just want to get it so I can go shopping more, like faster. Yeah. So
Well, I wasn't really afraid, but I wasn't really that like optimistic to get it because like, well, I don't really go out. I guess you could consider me shut in kind of person. I don't know. I don't really know where to go. So when I get the vaccine, I was like, oh, okay, cool. It's
okay,
not like I go anywhere also.
awesome. Yes. Yes. Okay, cool. So we have another. Thanks for sharing, Carla. So we have another guest in our panel, but not really guest. She's been here with us just very recently. If you remember, we spoke about hygiene and all that. So yes, if you are watching, put your hands together and help us welcome Dr. Ong Lee Teng. Yay!
Hello, hi guys.
Great.
Wow,
Welcome
yes,
back. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome back.
Thanks.
That's right.
Yes. Not too long ago, you taught us how to wash hands, how to shower. Yes. Now you're back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's right. And fortunately, right? So, Dr. Lee Teng also worked in what do you call it? COVID ward. Is that what we call them? Yeah, with COVID patient and all that. Of course, it was that time before you went into maternity and all that, right? So that time probably your patient were mainly adults lah. So maybe share with us a little bit some of your experience and what are some of the things that COVID patient go through. Yeah, we can start with that.
Okay.
What do you see as a doctor? Yeah.
Okay, so I work in Hospital Sungai Buloh, which is the main COVID hospital in the Teng Valley. Before I started my maternity leave, it was kind of the peak of one of the most serious waves in our country, and at that point of time, admissions were through the roof lah. Means like there were many positive cases each day and many admissions. So in Hospital Sungai Buloh, actually we don't most of you will know majority of COVID positive patients are still relatively okay if they are not elderly or they don't have any serious medical conditions. So these people will either be at home or in the big convention center in MIPS. So those who enter Hospital Sungai Buloh usually at least require oxygen. Means this virus has affected their lungs, and they have this when it affects the lungs, we call it pneumonia lah. So COVID pneumonia. Yeah. So basically, they are admitted to the ward. Each ward has 4 to 6 people, depending. Usually about 4 to 6 persons. It's like an enclosed cubicle, and they will remain there lah. So you have no visitors because it's COVID, right? And what happens is, like, if your family wants to send something, they will send it through the guard, then somebody will bring up to the ward for you, and then you just take from the door. But no visitors, and basically you stay in the ward until you get better or until your quarantine period is over lah. But all those things are changing from day to day depending on the situation in our country. Yeah. So generally you're admitted for about a week to 10 days. But if you are more serious, like you require ICU admission and the kind of thing, then of course it will be longer lah. In context of teens, most teens have mild illness lah, I would say. Yeah. Yeah. What else do you want to know?
What is the reason for that? Why do teens mainly have mild illness?
Because we can fight better. In general, every disease also, if you are young, your body can recover better or fight better. Your lung function is good compared to a 80-year-old guy who suddenly gets pneumonia, right? Yeah. So I guess that's why it affects the teenagers less. But with the new Delta variant, actually, there are more serious cases we see even in children and adolescents. Yeah. So it's not that it's not serious at all. There are cases that young people do actually get serious illnesses, require ventilator, enter at ICU and that kind of thing also. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Right. Okay. So yes, everyone tuning in, and if you're watching this is ATCHAT, and today we'll be talking about vaccination in the context of COVID-19, also in the context of teenagers who are going through this phase of getting vaccinated, right? So if you have any questions at all, remember that there is a Slido link as shown on the top left of your screen. You can click it, and the code, I believe, is ATCHAT. Yes, as shown on the screen. ATC has to be capital, and then HAT as a small letter. All right. So once you type in your questions, we will attempt to get them answered by either Khaled or Dr. Lee Teng. Any questions at all regarding vaccination and COVID-19 related? Awesome. Yes, and I see Yue. Yue mentioned that you got your second jab today, so congratulations. Well done to you, Yue.
Yes.
Hope you're surviving the side effects.
Yep.
Yes. So, Dr. Lee Teng, maybe I have a question to start things off. Let's talk a little bit about side effects, right? So maybe can share a little bit what are some of the common side effects that people can go through, or teenagers can foresee themselves getting into, and at what point is it considered something that we should actually look out for, like it's bad already and it needs attention?
Okay, so in general, every vaccine has similar general side effects, not just COVID vaccines. So these are things. So the side effects are because our body is reacting to the vaccine. So basically, what happens? A vaccine is a kind of inactivated virus or a particle that is injected into your body to trigger a response. So our body has all these soldiers to fight the disease, right? So basically, the vaccine will trigger all these soldiers to start their work, lah. Yeah. So that's where you get the symptoms like fever, body ache, chills. Some people get like colored, feel tired and coughing. So this in general, other vaccines also will cause similar side effects, and it is showing that your body is responding. It's just like how when we get a certain virus or bacteria in our body, then we also have like fever, body ache, similar to that lah. Yeah. So, but usually these are mild and it will go away by itself. Shouldn't be too serious. Of course, in terms of Pfizer vaccine, there are concerns about allergic reactions. Some people have very serious allergic reactions we call anaphylaxis, which is like an allergic reaction until you affect it may close up your vocal cords until you cannot breathe, or affect your those are the more serious. I mean, that's the more serious allergic reaction lah. But most people who are prone to allergy, maybe they'll get a rash and something which will go away by itself. So, and with regards to teens especially, there are certain groups that are afraid of the Pfizer vaccine for teens because there are cases where there's this adverse effect called myocarditis, which is a inflammation of the heart layer or the muscle of the heart. Okay, and this affects in a higher proportion young boys, like between 12 to 15 years old. So that's one of the points that people say, like, oh, you should be concerned and shouldn't vaccinate the teens. But the rate of this myocarditis happening is quite low lah. And if you look at complications of COVID and the seriousness of COVID infection in itself, then comparatively the risk of the vaccine is definitely pales in comparison to getting a serious COVID infection. Yeah, so these are in general some of the side effects. Yeah.
Okay, so that means side effects are considered normal. It's not something to be too worried about, because I asked that because I talk to teens almost every day here and there, asking them about their experience. And I've noticed that some have the concept that, like, oh, if I've taken the vaccine and I've got no side effects, that means I'm strong. I'm very strong. And then if I have a lot of side effects, then I feel like, oh, I'm not so strong. Maybe something's not right with me. That is not true, right? That's a misconception, right?
Yeah, definitely not true. I suppose everybody reacts differently. Some people get a more more overt or more apparent reaction compared to others. Yeah, like for example, my first 2 doses, I took the Pfizer vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
The first 2 doses, I didn't have any effects other than just a sore arm only. But I recently got my booster dose because I'm a healthcare worker. So I just got my booster dose yesterday, which is my 3rd dose. And this time around, I had like body ache, some chills, fever, and like that kind of thing. Yeah. So I suppose it's it just differs from person to person,
Right.
unrelated to whether how strong you are and the kind of thing.
Okay. And it's just a sign. It's just a sign that your body is reacting to the vaccine, or in other words, the vaccine is working lah. It's working
Yes,
in your
correct.
body.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't have side effects, doesn't mean the vaccine is not working in your body. It's just different way of reacting, right? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Good to clear that up so that everybody knows, like, got side effect doesn't mean you're weak. No side effect doesn't mean you're strong. Well, you are, but no side effects doesn't mean it's not working also.
Yeah.
So, that's good. That's good to know. That's good to know. I think you also mentioned something about Pfizer having fear or some concerns about Pfizer among teenagers because of the risk for allergic reactions. So if that's the case, then some parents or some teens may want to opt for other types of vaccine, right? So in a general sense, right, actually, is there a lot of difference from one vaccine to another? Is
Sandy probably dropped off. Never pay internet view as usual. Yes, but writing on that question, are there any differences between the several vaccines available in the market right now?
Yeah. Okay. So for teens, for adolescents, what is mostly given, which started in the West, like in US, I think is Pfizer. So that actually Pfizer would probably be the vaccine that has the most what we call evidence lah, means like proven track record, because more doses given equals more data and we know more about it, right? I know of people who do pay to get the Sinovac vaccine for their teens. And I think I'll just talk about these two lah. So basically, the difference between these two vaccines is basically the mode of action. Yeah, but both would still trigger your body to mount an immune response, which is what we want anyway. Yeah. So Pfizer vaccine is an mRNA vaccine, which is a messenger RNA. Basically, it's a genetic material of the virus that will cause your body to create the viral particle, and then your antibody will attack that. Okay, so basically Pfizer is just sending a message to your body, whereas the Sinovac vaccine is an inactivated form of the virus being injected into your body, and then your body will mount a response to that. So why people are concerned about Pfizer is because they say it's a new technology. So people are worried that, what will happen? Maybe it will alter your DNA, then you become like some mutant or whatever. Yeah, but it is definitely proven that the mRNA, which is the protein that is injected to your body, will disintegrate within 1 to 2 days. So it won't go into your DNA and make you a rabbit or something lah. That's for sure. If not,
right.
How many millions people already got the Pfizer vaccine, right? Nobody became a mutant yet.
Yeah.
Of course, people say, what if in 30 years or okay lah. I mean, in 30 years maybe we're not here already also.
Yeah.
So,
I think if they turn into a rabbit, then they complain. If they turn into a Spider-Man, then suddenly got superpower.
So generally, people are more. I guess maybe the older population, they trust Sinovac more because it is a traditional vaccine. It is how other vaccines are made as well. Yeah, but I would think that both are safe. They have been put through rigorous clinical trials and the casting, and for me it is both safe lah. And the best vaccine you can get is the one that you can get soonest lah, in my opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe quickly can tell us about because we mentioned about Pfizer and Sinovac, right? What about AstraZeneca? Is there which one does it fall under? Like, what type of technology was it developed with?
AstraZeneca is basically a vector vaccine. Means it is carried by another virus. So there's this other virus. The name is called adenovirus. Yeah. So it's carried with the adenovirus and then injected. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, it's just the mechanism of action lah, and how the drug is made. But at the end of the day, it does the same thing lah, mount an immune response to the body. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Good.
So it's interesting that Dr. Li Ting was explaining the 3 different vaccines available and how they work, right? We actually have a video now to generally show generally show how vaccine works. I don't know this one falls under which category, but I think it gives us a good idea of just vaccine in general. So organizer, you can play the video right now. Let's go.
The various COVID-19 vaccines work differently, but all do the same thing. They stop COVID-19 from making you sick. When someone usually gets sick from a virus, that virus has been able to get into the body's cells and force them to make more of the virus. And until a body has had enough time to make antibodies to fight the virus, that person will stay sick. But when you get a COVID-19 vaccine, it tells your cells to pretend to look like COVID-19 cells. And because your body's defenses think those are COVID-19 cells, even though they aren't, your defenses start preparing antibodies to fight the virus, even though you don't have the virus, and your body won't attack your cells that look like COVID-19. Now with your body prepared, if the real COVID-19 virus comes along, your body is ready to stop it right away, so you won't get sick. All because the vaccine prepared your body. So, get your vaccine when it becomes available, so your body is protected. A message from Cincinnati Children's.
Yes, welcome back to ATCHAT Chat. I hope that video gives you a good insight on how vaccines work, and that's quite cool. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of this thing called the COVID vaccine test kit. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. This one is actually purchasable in any pharmacies. I believe in Big Pharmacy. The actual pharmacy name is Big BIG. You can get this kind of thing for like $9.90. I got this from a local home store nearby, and it came up to about 16 ringgit. Okay, but it is very easily accessible in any pharmacy. Okay, so I believe there are two kind of tests available right now. There is the saliva kind of test. There is also the one that the nose kind. I don't know how to test. Maybe you need to put your tai hidung there to check, right? So anyway, so this one is to test whether or not you have or you are, if you kena COVID lah. Okay, it's a home test kit. Okay, now it is fully recommended that you do this if you are traveling or you are coming back or outstation and all that, right? Or if you're going to a big event or you came back from a big event, get yourself checked regularly, okay? And that's going to be important even if you are vaccinated. All right, so I'm going to show you how I'll do it. It's very easy. Okay, so basically I'm doing the saliva method. Okay, so basically they'll give you this tube where you have to put your saliva in here, and because the hole is small, they give you this thing called this thing. All right, and you fix it together. What is it called? It's a filter. A funnel, yes, funnel filter.
Ayo,
okay.
Ganesh.
Your filter. Okay, so you have to
filter the
spit.
virus away.
You have to spit here. And earlier, right, Dr. Li Ting said you cannot just spit like tweet like that, right? You have to spit from your throat. Okay, like poo like that, right? Okay. So I don't know how to do that. I'll just spit first for demo. All right.
You need to get the saliva from your throat.
Poo. All right, saliva from my throat. Okay. Yeah. So there's actually a line somewhere that you have to. That's the minimum lah, right? The minimum. Let me spit more. Okay. So I have some saliva, and then right, they will give you this solution, this thing here, all right, that you have to add to your bunch of saliva things. So let me just do this very quickly. I'm gonna cut this, and I'm gonna pour the solution inside. Okay, there you go. All right, it's empty. Okay, it's empty. And then you cover this thing, and you're supposed to mix it. So you just goyang. All right, you mix it.
Oh my god.
Okay. So now it's the fun part. Okay, now there's this packet here where if you cut it, they will give you a litmus paper. Litmus paper. Basically this machine here. Okay, you can see a machine. Yes. So the machine is where's the paper? I don't know. Was it C or T that you're supposed to get, doctor?
then it's positive.
Okay, if it's only C is negative, if it's C and T is positive, if it's only T, apparently
This
it's
is
an error. Am I correct?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. So what's gonna happen is that on this, so you have to drop your saliva inside this hole here. So I can actually just, because there's a hole right here, so I can just put it something like this. No, but 2 should suffice, right? Okay. All right. Is it not 2? Should
You
be
have to
enough.
read the instructions.
The instruction, I don't know, throw away any. I thought I didn't need it. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So once you do that, right?
You should put it down on a flat surface.
Okay. I think mine is rosak already. Because the whole paper got color now. Okay. And once you are done, I think you have to wait. You have to wait for like 2, 3, 1 minute. I don't know. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Okay.
I
So
think
they have
generally
a
it's longer than that.
biohazard when you throw all your saliva here. Remember, don't throw your saliva everywhere. Okay. That's like spitting on the ground. Okay, throw here. You're supposed to wait how long?
Different keys are different, but I think it should be 10 to 15 minutes.
Minutes.
Okay, everybody pause for PSA. Make sure you read the instructions
Don't be like me so fail.
and
Okay.
please keep the instructions with you nearby. Yes.
Yes.
This it's not just for the COVID-19 test kit, it's for everything.
Alright.
Everything. Very important. Yes.
I see. It's working already. Okay.
Ah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
what are you?
Okay. So okay. So right. Okay.
Yes.
So just
Yes.
in
The
case. All right.
suspense. Wow, the suspense.
So I don't want to drop the water. Okay. So you, as you leave it. Okay. First of all, you have to read instructions. Okay. Don't be like me. Okay. Read instructions. Understand how many drops and how long you need to wait. Now, assuming is as long as what I've waited, right? It'll be like this. So you got 1 line at C. Doesn't mean I'm pregnant. Okay, this is not a pregnant test. Okay, so
Aye.
C means negative. Negative COVID means good. All right, positive COVID is no good. Get yourself checked. Yeah. So if you are double line, you're positive, right? Get yourself checked. Go and meet a doctor. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. That's all for our advertisement.
Hey, so
Yes.
yeah, that's good. So if like doctor, if someone actually does a test like that, yeah, and then they discover that they're positive, all right, what are the steps? What's next? What are the things they're supposed to do?
So you need to report yourself to a CAC lah, COVID assessment center. So there should be one near wherever you are. Then usually you have to go there and report yourself. And then somebody there will check you and determine whether you can. Nowadays they allow like you if your house is suitable, you can stay at home.
Okay.
Either that or they decide that you have to go to a hospital or MIPS, the quarantine center. Yeah. So over there they will assess you lah, like how you are feeling, what the symptoms you have, how's your oxygen levels, yada, and they will make a decision from there. Yeah.
Is this thing accurate and can we trust it?
It is fairly accurate, but I think most people will repeat a PCR after the home test if it's truly positive lah, because they're like, home test positive I think most people will still go and do a PCR lah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the PCR is truly positive, then definitely it's positive. Yeah.
All right.
PCR is the one where you really put in your nose and all that. Yeah. But the home test kit is fairly accurate as well. But there are cases of false positive. But for some because like the frequency of COVID is so high now. It is better to err on the side of caution. Means like if your home test kit is positive, then we just treat you as positive lah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because anyway, it's so common. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Doctor. Okay, we've got some questions from Slido right now. Remember that before we go through these questions, remember that you can also submit your questions through the QR code on the top left corner of the screen, or you can head on to Slido and type ATCHAT. Okay, ATC in capital and then HAT in small letters as shown on the screen. Okay, so we have a couple of questions here, 3 at the moment. And the first question goes to Carla. Yes, Carla, you are still part of the show, all right? We have not forgotten you. Okay, so Carla, this question is for you. What gave you the courage to sign up for vaccine? Do you need to sign up at the first place? Okay, anyway, what gave you the courage to do it? There has been so much negative news going around regarding vaccine for teens. And so therefore, what gave you the courage? Yeah, so that's the question.
So, well, I don't really look at the news, but me and my mother are very worried because, well, I have like complications on my leg. It's called arthritis. So we were worried that when we take this vaccine, there will be like a lot of side effects coming in, and you'll be like suffering for me lah. But we pray to God. Me and my mother are Christians. We pray to God that nothing bad will happen. We pray for safety and everything, and yeah, we just went for it. Yep.
Okay. Since we're at it, right, Carla, there's actually a second question for you. And it sounds like this. So, Carla, how did your parents react on vaccination? Okay, do you think it's common if parents is not supportive of taking vaccination at this stage? What are your thoughts on that?
Not supportive. For me, my parents were very supportive about taking it. They believe that it will be like not much problem, but for others, I guess it's normal because we don't really know what's the side effect for kids, and kids are still developing their immune system and all, So yeah, I guess it's normal for them to worry about it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Are
awesome.
there other questions?
Yes, so the other one is for probably Dr. Lee Teng.
Yeah,
super
very
scientific.
technical.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Pastor, you ask because I don't know how to pronounce all this stuff. Yeah.
Okay. I will just ask it as it's written because I also don't know how to interpret it. Okay, so it says that is there fetal enzymes / membranes / tissues in the vaccine? There are some reports that suggest there are these things in some of the vaccines. Yes. Do you understand the question, Doctor?
Yeah, I understand the question.
Okay.
To my knowledge, no lah. If
maybe you want to explain what is
it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I also don't know how to explain the question.
Okay, so fetal is basically an unborn child lah in a mother's womb. So that's what we call a fetus. So fetal is from that word. Enzymes is a protein in our body which break down particles. So basically, like when we eat something, the enzymes help to digest or break down the food. Right. Membranes and tissues basically parts of our body lah, or our cells and that kind of thing. Yeah. So I suppose this question is worried that is using particles or cells or tissues from a fetus, which is an unborn child.
Right.
I personally have no knowledge of this.
Okay.
And if we look at so every vaccine is a medication. Basically, a vaccine is a medication, right? And each medication actually writes clearly the ingredients and what it is made out of. And on that paper, there is no fetal tissue membrane enzyme level lah. Yeah. Right. So to my knowledge, I would say no lah. Yeah. I don't think this is true.
Fetal, right? If they make medicine out of like.
Yeah, and I feel it's probably quite unlikely as well lah.
Okay.
Like why would and how to get all these like fetal particles or fetal cells?
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I would say no. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, there's another question for you and very specifically for you. So the question to Dr. Lee Teng. what are the confidence level for vaccination for those below age 12 at the moment?
Yeah, so actually currently there is no body that outrightly say that children under 12 should be vaccinated or proven that it is safe. I suppose research is always ongoing because COVID is such a new thing, and vaccination is also such a new thing. So the research is underway, or what we call clinical trials lah in the medical term. Clinical trials underway to test whether vaccines are safe for children under 12 or not. But currently, it is not yet lah. It is not. There's not enough sufficient data yet for anybody to recommend. So that is why it is important for those that are above 12, adolescents and adults, to get vaccinated so that their children are also protected. Because if there is no disease running around among those of us, then it won't affect our children as well lah. Yeah, which is something we call herd immunity. Yeah, maybe we can extrapolate on that. So I have a slide on that.
Okay. Let me look for the slide. All right, herd immunity.
What is herd immunity? Yeah. So basically, people will ask, why do I have to be vaccinated? Maybe it doesn't affect me. I don't go out of the house. It's not safe. Why do I have to subject myself to the risk? I won't get COVID and all that kind of thing. So that's where herd immunity comes in lah. So if only a few of us are vaccinated, then COVID-19 can still pass from person to person, right? We know for a fact that the COVID vaccination will reduce. Number one, it will reduce your chance of getting severe disease. Means like less risk of you being hospitalized, being hooked to a ventilator and that kind of thing. And number two, it will prevent transmission. Means like even if I got COVID, I'm vaccinated and I got COVID, the chances of me spreading it to somebody else drops drastically. Yeah. So, or you won't get it at all lah, because you are vaccinated. Yeah. So if you look at the picture, if you see, if more of us are vaccinated, then there's no chance for the disease to move around our community. And so to extrapolate, those people, even though they are not vaccinated, like the children under 12, because there's no disease around already, the community, so the children won't get it also lah. Yeah. So that is what we call herd immunity lah. Yeah. But for now, we don't know in the future whether children under 12 will be vaccinated. But for now, there's no recommendation on that yet. Yeah. So we just have to wait and see.
Okay. So I have a follow-up question to that, right? So, is this COVID, specifically COVID vaccination, is this a thing that will be implemented throughout in the later years for people growing up? Something like, the BCG that we take when we are 12-year-old. Yeah. So is this going to be a staple vaccination that everyone has to take as they grow up?
Yeah, I won't be surprised actually.
Okay.
In fact, actually, I think that it will be something like influenza. So, I mean, you all know about influenza. Influenza is basically a type of flu virus. Yeah. Right? And causes similar things to coronavirus. It also causes, some people get mild disease, mild influenza. Some people get more severe cases like lung infection, which is like influenza, pneumonia, that kind of thing. And actually, even before COVID, influenza does kill children and elderly when there's influenza season. So we have influenza vaccine, and the influenza vaccine is recommended to be given annually. Yeah. So actually, the scientists will actually predict what subtype of the influenza virus will happen in the coming year, and they will make the vaccine, and then they will give to those at high risk or whoever who chooses to take lah. So actually, I think that COVID would probably be moving towards that also, as we learn more about the disease and develop new vaccines and that kind of thing. Yeah. So I'm not surprised that it will just be a part of us, and then we will have like, annual COVID vaccine or annual booster shot or something like that.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I mean, don't know lah, but yeah, I'm not surprised that it becomes like that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Khaled, like among the teens, right? I don't know, like when I guess when adults get together, they talk like that lah. They know what fetal membrane lah, all these big words come out, right? I wonder like for teens when you all come together or when you all talk to each other about vaccine, right? Like what is in your discussion? What are the fears or what are the motivations? You know what I mean? When you talk about the vaccine now, right? What do you talk about actually among the teenagers?
Mostly they complain about the coronavirus. Oh wow, I cannot go out, I cannot go to school, blah blah blah. Wow, I wish I could get the vaccines faster. And then vaccine now come out, then like, oh finally, like they were, they were like frustrated before that, but now they're like, oh, relief, finally can do my normal daily life stuff, go out,
okay.
hang out with friends.
So if I'm hearing you right, you're basically saying like among your friends at least, right? Or among the teens that you know, it's more of a like, wow, I can't wait to get the vaccine so that I can get out there and live what they think is a normal life lah, like go hang out with friends or go play sports or go to physical school instead of online class like 1.5 years already, and travel maybe, right? Something like that.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
so the motivation is different lah. It seems like the motivation is more for I want to get out again. I want to have that life again, right? And
Yes.
I guess this contributes to the
Are there any teenagers that you know of lah? Yeah, that is like against vaccine, not like what the people call anti-vaxxers among teens. Do you know of any?
Okay, I don't know much, but I actually know this one person that is kind of, her parents are kind of against it because she's weak, has a weak immune system. So yeah, they were kind of like not skeptical, they were kind of worried, so they don't really let her get it lah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that you haven't heard of teens themselves being anti-vaccine themselves. But if there were any who are against or more like slow to taking the vaccine, is usually more of the parents' concern that is passed on, right? And of course, right now, I guess if you're under 18 without your parents' consent, you're not able to do it also lah.
Yeah.
Right? So mainly it's a concern of the parents. Okay. What do we have to say, Doctor? I don't know, like to those who are, I guess, I wouldn't want to label them anti-vaxxers as if they're like one big category of people lah. But the people who have various reasons as to why they don't want to take the vaccine.
Yeah.
What do you think we should do? Should we convince them? Should we, just laugh at them? Haha, too bad lah. Then you can't go to restaurant or what's your attitude be? You know what I mean?
Well, I definitely think that I think people look at the COVID vaccine negatively mainly because of fear of the unknown. Because it's so new. What will happen in 30 years and that kind of thing. So obviously because of my job, I guess I'm compelled to give the facts lah and the information. Yeah, I can't just like laugh and say up to you. So so definitely I think that if we are able to clarify what are their fears and address it, address the issues. If somebody says, oh, my daughter's or son's immune system is weak, actually what do they mean by immune system is weak, right?
Right.
And then to address how the vaccine works, I think hopefully the clarity of information will bring them confidence to go for the vaccine. But in general, I feel that at the end of the day, I mean, if we're talking to Christians, or if we put faith in the picture, then it is always a question of in anything also, when we make a decision, we may not know what that decision will bring us, but it's the faith that God will protect and God will put things in order lah. Just to share, like for me, when I first took my first vaccine, I was pregnant, and at that time there was no evidence for kind of clear evidence for pregnancy. Everything is just like, oh yeah, you can take it, but nobody's gonna say like, oh, you should take it. Kind of same similar to what is facing the teens now. But when like Khaled and his mom, they also didn't know how it will affect him.
Right.
But with prayer and confidence that God will take care of us, just go for it and do the right thing lah. Because I feel that COVID vaccination is not just about yourself, like we addressed earlier. It's about the community and the society also. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Okay.
So we've got a few more from Slido, Pastor.
Yeah.
I think in relation to what we are currently talking about, and this one is to Khaled. Khaled to Khaled, right? What would be your one-liner word of encouragement to teenagers who are considering to take vaccine?
Considering
Yeah.
to take
Your word of encouragement, yes. Stay strong.
And so Khaled, as you give this one-liner, you're probably also speaking to the parents of the teens lah, right? Because they are the one ultimately making the decision. So yeah, choose your line. Choose your line carefully, I guess. I don't know.
I would just want to say, stay strong for a bit more. Get the vaccination. You can go out now. Yeah.
The encouragement is to go out. Yes, to go out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All of you Khaled's friend, if you want to play with Khaled, yes, that's your criteria. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just jump in and add on a little bit. I mean, in a way, it's funny because we're like, so superficial just take the vaccine just to go social. But I think it's not just that. It's like go out. It's not just like having fun. Go out is like go school, right? Go to school. Like if you're a sports person before, right? You can go for your training. All this. I don't know. Maybe you want to play basketball for Malaysia one day or play basketball for competitively, like all these different things, right? Going out is not just fun and games, it's also, I guess, the daily life lah, right? Going out to do things, tuition, so there's also a serious side to it lah. It's not just the you're so superficial lah, I want to go hang out only. It's not just that. I think that's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
So I think it's something that needs to be seriously factored into the consideration lah. Yeah, and okay. Having said that, it's also important to take note that our government has also reaffirmed that it is an option. It is not mandatory for everyone to take a vaccine. Our government has not made it mandatory, like you must. If you don't, then right. But for practical reasons, the government also have to put certain restrictions in place to protect each other. They have also put certain restrictions in place so that those who are vaccinated can have certain privileges, and those who are not vaccinated cannot enjoy those privileges. So that has to be factored into the decision making lah, I would say. Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for your word of encouragement, Khaled. Yes, everyone watching, stay strong. That's right. So we have another question, and I don't know if this question anyway, I'm just going to ask it first. Maybe in the context of what a doctor could say, right? Because I think this kind of thing is more on the government side of things. But the question is like this: how long more should we wear masks? Outside of the context of vaccination, I think vaccination aside, we have social distancing, we have wearing the mask, and everything. So I guess how long more until we can go back to normal, normal meaning life that we used to have? Do you have any sort of indication or clue, or what can you say as a doctor at this level?
For now, definitely, it's like an indefinite thing. We may have to wear masks forever.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. But why we say we still need to wear masks and practice the SOPs, as we call it, is because no one method is foolproof to prevent COVID, right? But if you put everything, we call it a Swiss cheese model. Cheese, right? Cheese got hole, ma. The cheese, when you slice the cheese, maybe that not cheddar cheese lah, not the Cheesedale cheese, but
The
proper
cartoon cheese, the cartoon one.
yeah, the muscle. So there's holes in it. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you put SOP like mask, social distancing, also got holes, means still can telepass. But then you put the next size of cheese, you have vaccines. Okay. So but the holes don't overlap ma. So if it tumbles one hole, maybe it won't tumbles another hole. And then
Right.
there's other things also, like other public health practices. So when we look at it as a whole, if you practice everything, then your risk of contracting the disease will reduce drastically. So that's why we say, even though you're vaccinated, still practice the SOPs, wear your mask and that kind of thing. How long is hard to say, but for the moment, I think just prepare ourselves to just wear it. Yeah. I think all of us are quite used to it, yeah, right?
No.
And it's not so fashionable some more.
Oh man.
You know.
So yeah. Okay. No, I find it difficult lah. To keeping the mask on, to talk with the mask on, to sing with the mask on, to yeah. But okay, yeah, we have to do what we have to do, to protect each other. Yeah.
But there are countries where the vaccination rate is high and the transmission of disease is low, where governments have just said that you don't have to wear the mask anymore. But what happen is the government policy lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed because English Premier League, the football is back and the stadiums are full, and no one's wearing masks there. Not say no one lah. Like in the camera pan, you see like majority no one's wearing masks, and they're like so close to each other.
Yeah, but actually, if you ask the medical practitioners in those countries, I think all of them are like scared lah.
Yeah, of course.
That scene, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and we are Malaysians here watching. We can't understand how that is happening, but it is happening. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions, Slido? Let me just do a quick.
No more on Slido. So I'm looking at
Alright.
YouTube and Facebook maybe.
Yeah, and we're on Discord as well. So we're actually everywhere lah.
Yes.
That's how we get our 10, 11 million viewers.
Yes, correct. That's right. Okay, anyway, it's time. And it's time to close Exchange Chat. But then before we reach that 9 o'clock, right? Any final thoughts, Pastor, when it comes to teens and vaccination? I don't know, we heard from a teenager, we heard from a doctor. Let's hear from a pastor if you have any ending thoughts.
Actually, I've given my final thought already in response to Khaled. I mean, like it is an option, so we cannot force anyone to take it, and it's okay. It's your choice, your personal choice. But then we also live in this country, and so we are subject to the laws and regulations of this country. And so to a certain extent, not to a certain extent, we have to abide by the law. Whether it will be like this for forever or for a long time more to come, like we've heard from Dr. Li Ting earlier already, one day probably, likely so, it will reach to a point where it's like one of the influenza flu kind of situation. Who knows? But until such time, because there's implication to, like, because we're a church, right? There's implications to church also. And we all know that church is for everyone and anyone. We don't discriminate, right? But now, in a way, we are forced because of the law of the land. We are forced to not allow those who are not fully vaccinated into the church yet. But I hope people understand that that's not the church's decision. We are abiding by the law, and we are also believing that it won't be like this forever lah. But it doesn't change the fact that church is for everyone.
Yeah.
And we are figuring out ways. We're figuring out ways how to open up for everyone. There are some suggestions some have suggested, why don't we create like a bubble, maybe there's a section or segment within the church where all those who are not fully vaccinated can go there and be something like that lah. There's one idea, and there are other ideas also. There are some ideas where like we create rooms so they come and they go straight to that room. Not sure if it's the best idea or not, but there are ideas lah. So if anyone's wondering, like, what is the church stand? Why is the church not open up for everybody? How come only the privileged and all that? It's just that it's so fresh, it's so new actually. We've just only opened up, the government has just only allowed. So we need to abide by the law. And then we hope that the situation will start to change. But it doesn't change, again, just to reiterate, it doesn't change the fact that the church is open and is for everyone and anyone. Yep, I guess I didn't plan to say that, but as I was talking, that just came to my mind.
Too.
Yes, Khaled, go ahead.
But just a sentence. But well, vaccination can only help you protect the virus, but Jesus can help you much more.
Yep,
Believe in it.
that's right.
That's right.
That's good. That's important.
Sharing,
Yes.
Khaled. I think that's a good end to our topic for today.
Yeah.
Vaccination for teenagers for real. Okay, so that's all we have for XT's chat today. However, maybe just before we close, I think it's good to honor people who ask questions. So there's one more from Facebook, and this one probably came out of the home test kit that we did earlier. Why I wanted to re-ask this question is because this is the second of the same question that arose from Facebook. Okay, so someone asked earlier, and then now another person asked the same question. So could a negative on a home test kit be false too? Because earlier I think we were talking about if it's positive, it's also good to get a second opinion, a second check, etc. Right? It could be false. So in this case, the flip side, could a negative be also false too? Yeah, Dr. Lee, think you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is possible. There's also chance of false negative. But the accuracy is above the 90 percentile for the home test kit. So that's why we say that it is still relatively reliable. Yeah. If your home test kit is negative, but you have symptoms, you have persistent symptoms, then I would say go for a PCR test. And especially if you have symptoms and you have exposure to a known exposure to somebody who is COVID positive, then definitely go for a confirmatory PCR test.
Does it work if I do 2 times?
Means?
Like
home test kit twice.
Yeah, yes.
It doesn't really matter lah. Also because like when you do home test, it's just like how Carnation did. Sometimes it's a user thing, right? When you don't do it correctly or your sample is not adequate. So that's why there's sometimes the false negative can arise. Yeah, but definitely if you have symptoms, then I would say get a confirmatory PCR test, where a medical practitioner does the swab. And it is definitely a proper one lah. Yeah.
Okay, yes, thanks for answering that question. I think we managed to answer everything at the moment. Of course, if you have any more questions that just come out after this session for today, remember that you can always DM X-Teams on Instagram, and we will attempt to get your questions answered one way or another. Okay, if we can't, we'll just tell you we can't. All right, so that's all we have for you in X-Teams chat. We hope to see you guys again next week. Yes, we are back next week on X-Teams chat. We have something very exciting in store for you. Yes, Pastor Andy?
Yes, that's it.
That's it. Okay, that's all. All right, so I'll see you guys next week. Thank you once again to Andy Shamkalat and Dr. Lee Teng.
Wow.
You guys are awesome, really good. Okay, ciao guys, bye.